And Calhoun Community College is doing their part to make sure that everyone in North Alabama has the chance to go to college or learn a trade. Our Ayanna Willoughby tells us more about their new Instant Admissions Day.
If you're looking to earn more or learn a new skill, now might be the right time. There's a special Instant Admission Day at Calhoun Community College this week.
So we're hosting a special Instant Admissions. It's this Wednesday, June the 30th, and it's for our veterans and dependents of veterans, and our VA representatives will be here on site.
You'll need a photo ID and a recent SAT or ACT score. You also need to bring a copy of your transcript. If you don't have an ACT or SAT score to bring, you can take a free placement test.
Anybody in our area who has graduated high school or received their GED can come and apply to the college, and we'd like to help them get started with classes this fall.
Enrolling in classes and learning new trades has been popular lately because of the pandemic.
And we have seen an influx of students wanting to come back to school that are returning or that are transferring to us. So
if you're nervous about not having enough time, Calhoun has online, in-person, and hybrid classes.
So we have lots of online classes, nights and weekends that are flexible for those that may be working, but we also have traditional classes as well.
Calhoun Community College serves all of North Alabama with 2 locations in Huntsville and Decatur. They offer 2-year degrees and certifications for teens and adults.
Yeah, so not only do we target high school graduates, but we target those that may want to go back to earn their degree.
This Instant Admissions Day is specifically for veterans and dependents of veterans, but there will be more for the general public coming up in July and August. Visit our website for details about the dates and times. Putting the Valley first, Ayanna Willoughby, WZDX News.